Hello, everybody. Welcome back to What If Civilization Started Over. Today we are on episode 8. I know, crazy. Last episode we had some expansion, we had new countries forming, and yeah, very good. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, and yeah, thank you. Let's go. So here we are. This is a map of the world. We have all of the countries down here. We have the Arabian countries and the Nordic countries. Can't forget Svalbard and Greenlandic countries, colonies, and everything. And let's start. So, first event of today's episode will be a War of Independence. I know, I haven't seen one of them yet. I mean, we have kind of, but let's just give it a random color. Here we are. And it's going to start, if you couldn't already tell, up here in the nation, in the area of, Iceland. Starts over here in this region of the colony, and it also starts quickly spreads to the north. And once this city is captured up here, it's not looking good, as both this city's been captured and this one is on the brink of falling. However, remember, we're still in the early BC, so even just receiving the message takes a few days before they can even prepare and ready the troops. So by the time they get their troops here, they've lost their mainland. And now it spreads to the east. They quickly overwhelm the Scottish garrison forces, and the nation of Iceland has been freed from colonialism. And instead of choosing one of the old areas, administrative capitals, they decide to found a new capital as a show of pride or something like that. So they're going to put their capital right here on the south coast. And yeah, got a new country. Oh, whatever. Done. Okay. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to head over here. We're going to have a new country forming up here in Greenland. This country is going to form on the western coast. It's going to be kind of over in this region, right over here. Be quite large. It's got a lot of trade and explorers. This area we're going to say, was first settled by people looking to extract local resources. So yeah, we got something like this. And as a result of this, the green country will expand its territory along the border. So we get something like this. And even going up to these two bays over here. And to prevent any other country forming from up here, this team, the Eastern Greenlandic team, is going to expand downwards and meet with the border over here. They're also going to spread further inland. So we have something like this. They also spread up to these peninsulas up north. No, they spread to these peninsulas up north. And they spread along right here. Yep, this is very good. Nice. And as of course, when countries expand, we gotta give them a new set of cities. So they're gonna get a city in this bay. They're gonna get a city in here and in here, as well as in here, and one inland. They're gonna get a city in this bay on this peninsula here. And one up there. This country, because they're brand new, is going to put their capital. Oh, wrong layer. city here. Here. These are the locations of the newest cities that we've gone with. And they're gonna get one in here, and here, and one very much southern tip right here. Because they're a new country, they are gonna put their capital. They have to put their capital down first, which they will put on this peninsula here, and they will have three to four major cities at the beginning. So one here, one in there, one here, and no, that looks weird. One here, no, one here, and one up north. Here we are. Enough with Greenland. We're gonna head down, and we're gonna give some more cities to all of these countries in Europe. It's been a while, right? I'm gonna do something like this. The Russian country is gonna get a lot more cities as their population booms. Finland is gonna get some more cities along their lakes. The microstate is gonna get some more. This central country is gonna get here, and they're also gonna get their capital, which should have been there already. Their capital is gonna be down here. We're all gonna give everybody some more cities. General population increase across the world. This is good and a bad thing. Development of more cities in this country. It's a very good area for farming. Nice here. Here. More inland cities. For everyone. Who doesn't like a good old inland city? Nice. Everybody's got some more. Lovely. Okay. Yep. Okay. Anyway, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a drum roll, a war. So this is quite an interesting one. This is all about this country in the center of Europe right here. So the neighbors don't really like them because they came in and stole all the land that they wanted. Makes sense, doesn't it? So, in response, the neighbors are going to declare war on them. Very simple. Makes sense. The North French country is going to be the first to invade, capturing this major city in the south and pushing into the country. The German country is going to push in and capture this peninsula, cutting them off from the rest of the ocean. And we're going to have a surprise country joining in this war with this Swabian country or South German country. They're going to be invading as well, capturing these two major cities and pushing in towards the capital from the south. And they're the first to enter the area. The North French country will quickly push along the borders and join in on the attack of the capital. And finally, the German country will push it and do very much of the same. But they'll be the ones to capture the capital. And yeah, nice. Very good old partition. We love doing those, especially tri-partitions. I'm sorry, Poland. This might be hard for you to talk about. Anyway, so let's give them a good old classic annexation. They're going to annex this. And these two are going to go bang, boom. Who doesn't love an annexation, right? I certainly do. Now, as you know, what we have to do is you have to get rid of the capital. So, we are going to erase you. And instead, we're going to have a few cities taking the place with the city going right here. That's too big. Wait. Yep, right here. It's going to be in the... No, because it's kind of hard to tell. It's going to be here. Inside the other country. Oh my god, why is it hard to press? Yep, there you go. Now, down south, we have a bit of territorial expansion and formation of a Berber Amazigh kind of looking thing. I don't know how red makes it more green. That doesn't make any sense, but they're going to form... No. They're going to form in this region of unoccupied land, looking something like this. Now, you may be like, oh, how are they having so many countries in the middle of the desert? And let me tell you, if you haven't watched any of the previous episodes, this area is more habitable because we're changing the temperature. I know that's not realistic, but the whole idea is not realistic. We're going to have completely different events occurring to the world, and it's called Restarted with a twist. So, and they're not invading, by the way, right now. They're just fixing borders. So yeah, they're going to be quite large, but they're not going to have loads of people as they're more of a tribal civilization. The red team, as much as they want cooperation, is immediately going to speed up their colonial expansion program, pushing down all the way over here and into this region. The brown team is going to do much of the same, with them pushing in and annexing this whole area. The pink team down here in Spain is going to do the same. The Moroccan team will annex all of this. And finally, I know they don't border them, but the Sahrawi team is going to have a major expansion going down to this point. And also, if it counts, consolation, this team over here, they're not invading as well. Just is going to push towards the border. They're a little bit upset because they're like, why did you need to do that? But I don't know. Why did they need to do that? Anyway, they're going to have a capital city because we need a capital city, right? And their capital is going to go right in this little region. Not the best spot because it's on the border. Although they are going to have a few major cities along the other borders with just like this. We're also going to give some more... Oh. Wrong layer. Not fun. It's going to have some cities along each of the borders to the middle. Also going to have some more cities for the Moroccan country, Sahrawi country, the brown team's colony, and the red team over here. And recently, the pink team has been unable to keep control of this bit of land, so they have put in the world's first permanent colony. Cool. So, sorry. They are going to be in here, and now their city has been upgraded to a capital. So, here. No, we're not going to do that. Sorry, misunderstanding. Whatever. Now, over here, we have much of the same going on with a new mountainous country forming in here. It's kind of like Kurdistan, but not Kurdistan, but Kurdistan, but not Kurdistan. If that makes any sense to you. thumbs up, because I know that's passive aggressive to some people. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm talking about. The green team is going to annex the border territories in here, as well as this bit of land here. This team will annex this, and this team will annex this, and this Azerbaijani team, or Caspian if you're Armenian, will expand further in the coastline. This team up here will also expand inwards, leaving the rest to join in the orange team. Nice. Now we have a huge new country in the middle of Europe, in the middle of the area. They're going to put their capital over here. I think that's where the lake is as well, so that makes sense. They're going to have a few small cities. Not like that. That's ugly. There. Enough with new countries for now. We have yet another war going on. This time it's going to be taking place between the Finnish, and Russian country. And Swedish country. Can't forget them. Now, this is occurring because of a good old territorial dispute. Finland, we're going to get a dash out so you can see what I mean. And the Kola. No, Finland claims all of this land. No, that looks weird. Yeah, Finland claims this land. Anything in this circle. The Kola country claims... No, the Russian country claims up to here. As well as... here. I know they're not huge territorial disputes, but it's enough to cause a war sometimes. And the... no, not Swedish country. I don't know why I said that. The Sami country is one of the biggest claiming all the way up to here. And the Kola country's like, no, I don't think so. What are you doing? So, this little crisis is going to evolve into the Second European War. And it's the first Scandinavian War. So, this is going to involve other countries, just so you know. They're going to pick sides, and we're going to have a big, brutal conflict on hand. But this might change and shape the way we see Nordics in this scenario. So, pay attention. So, the first two countries to make a move are the Finnish and Russian countries. They're both going to be sending their forces into the country for stabilizing whatever. But we haven't got to the age of crappy justifications yet, so whatever. Finnish country will be taking most of this. Meanwhile, the Russian country will also take this land. But doing this, the Kola country is going to take this as an act of war and declare war on both of them, which was not what they planned for, but that's their fault for taking someone's land legally. And next, seeing their opportunity, the slightly weaker Sami country. Oh, no, wrong color. Sami country will take advantage of this and enter their forces in here. They're going to have a slightly easier time, however not up north, as this area is very heavily defended due to the mountain ranges and just, yeah. They're going to capture the city though and head towards the capital, however they are slowed down. And even more so, when the Swedish team hears about this, they had a secret little pact with the Kola Peninsula, because at one point, the Kola country, because at one point, even with the Norwegian country as well, they wanted to jump them. So, yeah, they kind of just opened this up. So, both the Norwegian and Swedish teams meet in a random town on the border, and they're like, let's invade. Why not? Let's invade. It'll be fun. So, that's exactly what they do. But first, we need to fix a very ugly border. A very ugly city. cities should not look like that. There we go. Anyway, enough of that. You, both of these countries are going to join in the war. The South Swedish country will be the first to send in their forces, pushing in around here and capturing this major city. Immediately making a spearhead towards the capital. They will also start to push in further inland. However, they struggle a bit more here, as the local resistance is a little bit stronger. However, they start to get a move on as Norwegian troops also enter into the country. And this country is cooked. Let's be real. Norwegian forces push over here and capture and encircle the rest of this land. The Cola Force country sees an opportunity and immediately swipes in and pushes all of this out. They also they also send their forces into the country to take the rest of this land over here. However, the remaining occupational forces are taken over by the Finland, which leaves this kind of map here. And now it's a race to finish it off with Swedish country taking the capital city and something around this bit of land, and the Norwegian country taking the rest. So yeah, goodbye color country. That was quite quick. That's why you don't always join wars to jump people, because you can get jumped yourself. Motto. And now this is going to escalate as both the Finnish and Russian countries are going to join in to save their ally. I know. Exciting. But the Swedish were ready for this, and it also had plans to invade Finland, which they did successfully and captured all of this land. They also invite the microstate to the alliance, which immediately accepts and take this land, because they don't really have anything else. Which is another major city for free. Sorry. Why not? And this is not good. However, we see the Norwegian forces and the Colan forces unite to start to push back the Finnish. Colan forces have very good success until they reach the Finnish border, where they can't really push in any further. But on the other hand, with the Russian forces, they aren't really even able to push at all. So much so that the Russian forces over here having so much success that they capture both these territories, which is not good. Also, at the same time, they send in expeditions and settlers to capture this northern region to eliminate any influence of the Colan team in this area. They also push down and do the same, but this is more of just territorial expansion. I mean, both of them are, but this one's a bit more obvious. They don't really do anything about this. They just plainly go in. Let's capture this island. But yeah, this war gets on even more, as now this country here, the Baltic country, joins the war, and Russia's like, hey, no, stop that, as they get right next to their capital city, which is not good. They also rival their claims, pushing into here and capturing some of this land. And the Russian team immediately pulls their forces from the west to help defend this front, which is fairly successful, to be fair. Push them away from the capital city. And their occupational forces are able to push back over here. And so we have something like this. Yep. And then, yeah, it's not good. Colan forces will finally break through Finnish defenses, now sweeping in as Russian forces leave the area. They head towards this major city, capturing it, and encircle the other one. And just before this major city is captured, the Finnish surrender, and Russia's like, I'm not doing this anymore. So, the end of the First Scandinavian War comes to a conclusion. But I'm going to do the peace treaty on camera, because you kind of know what's going to happen. Annex, annex, annex. Simple enough, right? Annex. Annex. No. Annex. Annex. Capture. capture. And they take all of this borderland, which is kind of land they desired. But Finland is able to stay alive and keep the rest of this land as well. Quick border fix, but yeah. That's a push. And yeah, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Goodbye.